Hey everyone, I'm Katrice, and today's video I'm going to be talking about the Registered Education Savings Plan, also known as the RESP. So the RESP is designed to save for a child's post-secondary education. By opening an RESP, you can take advantage of a number of government grants and incentives to help you save for your child's future. One of the major benefits of an RESP is the Canada Education Savings Grant, also known as the CESG. It's pretty much a government program that will return 20% of your contributions made to an RESP. Of course, there's limits to all of that, but just to simplify things, let's say that you put $2,500 into your child's RESP this year, the government will automatically give you $500 extra to put towards that. Another government program that's available is the Canada Learning Bond, CLB, and this is available to individuals from lower income families. I believe the lower income consideration, if you have 1 to 3 kids, is about $50,000 in annual income for your household. And if you're eligible for that, then you'll get an additional $500 towards your child's RESP. You'll also get an additional $100 for every year until your child turns 15 if you continue to be eligible for the CLB. There's also provincial incentives available. Unfortunately, we don't have one here in Ontario, but there is one for Quebec and there's also one for British Columbia. In this account, there's also tax-deferred growth, so that means that you're only going to pay taxes on the way out. So when your child goes to university and they withdraw money from this account, then they will be taxed, which the idea behind that is that when your child is in post-secondary, they're probably going to be 18 years old when they're starting. They're probably not going to have a full-time job. They'll maybe be working part-time, but nonetheless, they're going to be in a lower tax bracket. Therefore, it shouldn't impact them too much. This account also gives you quite a bit of flexibility in the use of the funds. A lot of people are worried that what happens if my child decides not to go to post-secondary school? So there's a list of other programs that this money can be put towards. There's a wide range of education and training programs, trade schools, colleges, and universities that you can use this money to attend. There's no age requirement when it comes to opening an RESP. So once your child has a SIN number, they can have an RESP opened with them as the beneficiary. For certain RESP plan types, pretty much anybody can open the RESP on the child's behalf, such as their aunts and uncles, their parents, their grandparents, etc. So the first plan type that they have available is called a family plan. So this is great if you have multiple children. Let's say I had 3 children and I don't want to be managing 3 different individual RESPs. I can open a family plan for them and everything will be lumped together. This also will give you flexibility in the future when it comes to withdrawals, because maybe one kid's going to need more than the other depending on what field they choose and where they choose to study. One thing to note with the family plan is that you do have to be a parent or grandparent to open this specific type of plan. Aunties, uncles, they can't open this specific type of plan. They're only able to open the next plan that I will mention. So the next plan is called the individual plan, and this is the plan type that anybody can open for a child. So in this plan, there can only be one beneficiary compared to the family plan where you can have more than one beneficiary, which would be the different children. And lastly, the last plan type that's available is the group plan, which be very careful with group plans. Make sure to do your research. In a group plan, basically, they're pooling everyone's money together that opts into this group plan. And then when it's time for your child to go to university, they're going to split it up between however many kids go at that time. There's also a lot of lawsuits related to these group plans, and I have noticed from experience, I looked at my nieces and nephews' plans, they eat up a lot of your fees in the first couple years. So again, be very careful with these plans, and I recommend going with one of the other options. Next, let's talk about contribution limits in terms of investing in an RESP. So the lifetime contribution limit of investing in an RESP per beneficiary is $50,000. People typically recommend putting in the $2,500 every year so that you maximize the Canada Education Savings Grant that you can get. If the account holder of the RESP exceeds the contribution limit, there will be a penalty charged by the government on the excess amount, and that's about 1% every month. Lastly, let's talk about withdrawals from this account. So like I mentioned, the withdrawals from this account is meant to happen once your child is about 18 years old and they're starting their post-secondary journey. Given that when you're 18, you don't typically have a full-time job or anything like that, you've just finished high school and now you're looking into your next steps, you're going to be in a lower tax bracket, and that's when you'll be taxed based on whatever you take out of your account. So when the beneficiary withdraws from this account when they're 18 to 24-ish, attending university, they'll be able to use the money for expenses such as their rent, their tuition, textbooks, and anything that's education related. If the beneficiary decides not to attend post-secondary school, or if there's extra funds left after they complete their studies, then the grant money will be returned to the government, and then you're able to keep your personal money and the growth along with it. However, the money that's left over may be subject to taxes. The RESP is a great way to save up for a child's post-secondary education. I encourage you to look further into the government grants and incentives that I've mentioned and open up an RESP account for your child. It will be very, very helpful for them when they do reach the post-secondary education age. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to learn more about everything Canadian personal finance. Bye.